Okay. So in this second session on lubrication and bearings, we have studied in the first session on lubrication and bearing, where we have highlighted lubricants, properties, and also highlighted different types of bearings, and we have learned theory of hydrodynamic lubrication. So and also most important thing is we have learned mechanism of lubrication, thin and thick type of lubrication. And now in this session we will learn about dimensionless numbers. As you know that in case of journal bearings, where friction is the major part, we need to consider for improving the efficiency of the bearing or load carrying capacity of the bearing. And also it is very important to make how the friction occurs in the bearing. For that reason we need to know what are dimensionless numbers. See, as you know that coefficient of friction is an important parameter in bearing design, and this friction depends on three dimensionless parameters. So two of them here I am discussing now, and one more will be discussed in the next slide. Okay, so first two, which are bearing characteristic number and also the bearing modulus. So what do you mean by this? So before going to learn bearing characteristic number, you should know that what are the terms. You can see which I have shown here, how friction occurs in the journal and bearing, and in between journal and bearing if the proper lubrication is not maintained. As you can see in this case, the coefficient of friction versus eta n dash divided by P. So where eta is the viscosity, the eta is also in some textbook, in the data handbook, eta is taken as Z as viscosity. N dash is nothing but your speed of the journal in revolution per second, and P is nothing but bearing pressure which is acted upon the bearing through with the oil. For that reason, so that is the bearing pressure. So eta n dash by P, and this is the coefficient of friction. Based on these two elements, x and y components, we have plotted a graph where we got a curve S, R, A, Q and P. So what you need to understand in this case is the parameter whatever we have mentioned, eta n dash by P, is called as a bearing characteristic number, and it is a dimensionless numbers. That's why it has no unit, it is no dimension unit for this parameter, since it is a number. And you can see where you can able to calculate by knowing the viscosity, speed and pressure, you can able to calculate the friction in the journal bearing. So by using bearing characteristic number, you can able to calculate the friction, and also you can distinguish the friction based on this value. As you can see, if I whatever you are seeing there in this figure, we have three regions where you can see initially the friction is high because there is a metal to metal contact at the rest, and during starting it will be less, then at some point of time it will be very much less, it will reach the less value at point A, and suddenly it will rise due to the increase in speed. The friction may increase due to the metal to metal contact. So this actually you can see there the stable lubrication where there is no metal to metal contact will be exist in between Q and P. So based on this, what we can have is we can identify the variation of coefficient of friction with the different values of bearing characteristic number, as you can see there. And the part of PQ represents, you can see the part PQ represents thick film lubrication, and Q and R represents the viscosity where speed are low or the pressure is high, where you can see it is inversely proportional. So when you increase the pressure, automatically the speed will reduce. So same thing will happen here. It is inversely proportional, where for higher pressure, lower speeds, you can expect there is a transition or semi-fluid lubrication which will happen in this RQ region, and it will reduce the film thickness, so that a partial metal to metal contact will be there in case of semi-fluid or transition lubrication. So if I decrease further, the viscosity is decreased further, or the speed is decreased further, or the pressure is increased, what you can experience is it will move on to next part of the curve, that is R and S, where you can see in this part the thin film or boundary lubrication will occur, where in this region there will be metal to metal contact will be more in case of journal and bearing. So that's why to avoid this, we need to maintain the proper viscosity and proper speed and proper pressure, not high, not low. So you need to be optimum level. So that optimum level or that critical value is represented by bearing modulus. So whatever the values, if I say in this K value which I have indicated here, this K represents at that location, at that distance, the friction is very much less at the point A. Apart from that point A in the curve, the friction is increased. For that reason, that critical value, the value less than K, for an instance, if the value less than K, the oil will be breakdown, resulting in metal to metal contact and a consequent higher friction and wear. If the value of eta n dash by P, where the oil ruptures or breakdown, is called bearing modulus. So that is the thing, where whenever there is a oil breakdown occurs, so due to the variation in speed, viscosity and pressure, whatever the oil which breakdowns, so at the value lesser than K, then you can have the metal to metal contact, then there is a chances of breaking of that oil film. So thereby that type of critical value or that value of eta n dash by P, where the oil film breaks itself, that we call it as bearing modulus. So it is a critical value of this, where the metal to metal contact will be existing in the case. When the bearing is operated at near this value, slight decrease in speed or increase in pressure may be accompanied by large increase in friction, heat and wear. So due to that only there will be a metal to metal contact. That's why what we need to do is to prevent such kind of failures. So we need to take this bearing characteristic number eta n dash by P will be equal to 3 times the K value. So where K represents the distance at which the friction will be less, the value at which K, that 3K we need to consider for that kind of case, okay, for safer condition to prevent such metal to metal contact. Generally we will take the value of eta n dash by P is equal to 3 times of K. So next if the bearing is subjected to larger speed or larger loads or heavy impact, we need to take eta n dash by p, or the bearing characteristic number, which will be is equal to 15K, may be used for our calculation. Okay, that is the very important thing. If bearing is subjected to higher loading condition, at higher loading condition or heavy impact loading condition, we can consider eta n dash by p as 15 times the K must be or may be used for calculating the friction. Okay, so that is how we can quote two dimensionless number. One is bearing characteristic number eta n dash by p, and bearing modulus is the where it is representing the critical value where there will be a metal to metal contact in case of two surfaces. Okay, so next, moving on to next term, dimensionless number, which is Sommerfeld number. This Sommerfeld number is very much useful, as you can see here. This can be used for calculating three things. By using graph, you can directly able to calculate the friction and minimum oil film thickness, and also we can able to calculate how much flow should be there in a journal bearing. So these three things can be calculated by using Sommerfeld number, where he has suggested or he has given the case where whenever you know the Sommerfeld number, you can directly able to calculate the friction knowing the dimensions. Directly you can calculate coefficient of friction, and you can able to calculate H minimum, that is the minimum film thickness which should be maintained in the journal bearing, and also we can able to calculate flow rate in the journal bearing. Flow rate in the sense how much oil should be supplied, flow rate in the journal bearing. So these three things can be easily calculated if you know the Sommerfeld number. So in this case, as you can see, Sommerfeld number is extensively used in lubrication analysis, and for three things, as I told you, we can calculate by using the graph. You can see this region, you can see where here also you can see as a Sommerfeld number increases, then the coefficient of friction is also increased. Here also eta n dash by p is there. For that d by c whole square is multiplied, and here also Sommerfeld number is indicated by eta n dash by p d by c square. So I will tell you what is d and what is c. D is the diameter of the journal, c is the clearance, diametral clearance for the journal which is there in the journal bearing. And similarly you can able to calculate q. Q is nothing but flow rate. We can oil flow through the bearing, we can able to calculate by knowing the Sommerfeld number. So that is how he has given, and you can see here based on L by D is equal to 1, based on L by D is equal to 1, all are full journal bearing. What is full journal bearing? Where you can see the bearing portion will be surrounding the entire journal. You can see 360 degree we call, and partial journal bearing is one more, where it is not surrounding the journal, it is partially surrounds the journal at some angle, so maybe at 120 degree. And full journal bearing, where you can see 360 degree coverage, where it covers the shaft, journal and the bearing. So that is the thing. This is about Sommerfeld number. And next, in the case, we will discuss about the derivation of Petrov's equation. Okay, and the terms. Okay, I will tell you the terms in the next video. So thanks for watching.